Hello everyone, and welcome to HAB's 2025 webinar series. My name is Matt Schraut. I'm the Vice President of Analytics and Client Services at Fusion, and I'd like to thank the Avocado Board for inviting me to present the key opportunities from the latest avocado shopper research. Today we're going to take a look at how the path to purchase avocados has changed over the past decade, and the current challenges and opportunities the industry is facing in engaging with avocado shoppers along that path. Now remember, this webinar covers a small portion of the full study that HAB makes available to you for free to equip the entire industry for success. And you can find more information about avocado shopper behaviors in the full library of research that's available on the HassAvocadoBoard.com website. So I encourage you to download the full study and take advantage of the complete findings that are detailed in the research deck. Now, let's talk about the research. Now, before we get into the findings, I want to give a little bit of context for the research. We conducted 819 online surveys among a sample that's representative of the U.S. population. The shoppers had total or shared responsibility of grocery shopping in their household, and we split shoppers into two groups: heavier buyers, which purchase at least once per month, and lighter buyers, which purchase avocados less than once per month. Also, this path to purchase study explored shopper influences before the trip to the store, their in-store purchase behaviors, and their post-purchase experience. And again, I'm going to be focusing on the evolution of the shopper path to purchase over the past decade. So with that, let's get into the findings. So what are the key opportunities that will help you build sales based on this research? First, evolve promotional strategies to align with the rise in planned avocado purchases and everyday usage. Today's avocado shoppers are increasingly using avocados as a routine, planned purchase and adding them to their grocery list, rather than an impulse buy in store. Second, there has been a growing preference for bagged avocados among shoppers, and we've seen this trend reflected in retail sales performance as well. This growing preference signals a need for visibility for bagged avocados in store, with convenient and consistent placement, so we make it easy for shoppers to select the product they are looking for. And third, the avocado display has become vital to meeting shopper expectations, so we can boost category performance through impactful displays that highlight freshness, wide selection, and clear signage that educates shoppers on topics like avocado ripeness. The avocado display plays a larger role today in the decision to purchase avocados than it did a decade ago, and there are clear opportunities to engage with the shopper and meet their expectations. So let's talk about how the path to purchase avocados has changed over the past decade. Here we are looking at when the decision to purchase avocados was made, before or at the store. And today, 85% of heavier buyers and nearly 70% of lighter buyers plan their purchase before they go to the store. This has been a significant change since 2015. The share of heavier buyers that plan their purchase has increased 19 points, while we saw a 17-point increase for lighter buyers. So shoppers today are much more likely to plan their purchase than in the past. And this reflects the category's role as a household staple. Now we're looking at the grocery list itself, and we find a similar trend. Nearly 80% of heavier buyers add avocados to their grocery list, up 19 points since 2015, while nearly 70% of lighter buyers add avocados to the list. So avocados are not just a planned purchase, they are becoming part of the shopper's routine and earning that spot on the list. Now let's look at why avocados made it on the grocery list. The top two answers are rooted in meal planning. 40% said that they are a staple on the shopping list, and 37% said they had a specific meal in mind. These changes in shopper behavior in the past decade highlight the rise of planned purchases and usage, shifting away from impulse purchasing. Now we know shoppers are planning their purchases, But when shoppers go into the store, what are they buying to satisfy those plans? Well, one of the most significant changes to avocado purchase behavior is a rising preference for bagged avocados. In 2015, only 1 out of 10 heavier shoppers and 3% of lighter shoppers had a preference to purchase bulk and bagged avocados. Today, that preference has risen to over 50% of heavier and nearly 40% of lighter shoppers. So, with the rise of planned purchases and a growing preference for bags, what is the shopper experience in store? Well, one of the first questions we asked was, were the avocados in the store where you expected them to be? And we received a resounding yes in response, which is a fantastic result. But let's dive a little bit deeper into their experience with bagged avocados. So while shoppers could easily find the display of bulk, bagged avocado placement was more inconsistent. 7 out of 10 shoppers saw bagged avocados in store, but in very different places. In the back of the produce section, in the front of the produce section, near the other bagged produce items, and in other cases next to the bulk avocados themselves. And the other 30% of shoppers did not see bagged avocados in the store at all. And this inconsistency can make it challenging for shoppers to easily find and select bagged avocados when they are looking for them. And when we look deeper at purchase behavior, we see that 55% of the shoppers that saw bagged avocados did not purchase them. Now, some shoppers just aren't looking for bags, and in fact, the top reason for not purchasing a bag is a preference for bulk avocados. However, the number 2 reason for why shoppers did not purchase a bag is because they had already selected the bulk avocados they wanted. And this can make sense. Consider this scenario. A shopper comes into the store, they know where the avocados are, they approach the display, and they take time out of their day to make their selection before they even see the bagged avocados. And when they do find them, it's already too late. This highlights an opportunity to increase visibility and consistent placement of bagged avocados in store. But let's continue to talk about the path to purchase avocados, specifically one element that's increasing in importance, which is the display itself. When we look over the past decade, most factors surrounding the avocado display have increased in importance to shoppers. From having fresh avocados to wide selection of avocados, well-marked signage, and the availability of bagged avocados, we see that more shoppers today consider the display to be more important. Fresh-looking avocados was the most important consideration regarding the display, with 93% of shoppers reporting fresh appearance as important, followed by the availability of bulk and a large selection of avocados that are well organized and well marked with signage. So expectations from today's shopper are higher than before, and let's compare those expectations to the in-store experience. Here we are looking at survey statements about shopper-rated importance versus actual in-store experience. For example, 93% of avocado shoppers, again, consider fresh appearance of the avocados to be important to them, but only 59% said that they found fresh-looking avocados during their most recent trip to the store. That's a 34-point gap between shopper expectations and actual in-store experience. And many of these gaps fall within the 20 to 40 point range on this chart. The widest gap in expectation versus in-store experience is regarding the display having a wide selection of avocados. That showed a 46-point gap, which indicates shoppers are looking for wider selection in store. So here we have a key opportunity. We know that the display itself is an increasingly important factor in the decision to purchase avocados. And we have a clear path forward to close these gaps and align with shopper expectations. Now let's examine shopper confidence in selecting avocados that are going to meet their needs. Among other factors, shoppers are confident in their ability to select the right size, the right amount, and the right ripeness. And I want to focus on the right ripeness because ripeness is very important to shoppers. In this presentation, I'm mostly talking about the change in the category over the past decade, but ripeness was and continues to be a key factor in the decision to purchase avocados, and you can read more about that in the full study. But getting back to the chart, 81% of avocado shoppers are confident in their ability to select the right ripeness, which is an important choice regarding satisfaction. So let's review how well shoppers can identify ripeness. When presented with a visual representation of the different stages of ripeness, half of avocado shoppers incorrectly identified the perfectly ripe Hass avocado by sight, and a quarter incorrectly identified the underripe avocado. And today, most shoppers rely heavily on visual cues to determine avocado ripeness, but the results show a disconnect between their confidence and their actual ability. So, we've gone through the shopper journey from pre-store planning to the in-store purchase drivers. Let's move on to the shopper's post-purchase experience. When we did this research, we asked shoppers if they were satisfied with the product once they brought it home, and almost all shoppers we talked to were satisfied once they brought the product home. And 2/3 of those shoppers acted on or shared their experience. The top actions taken were including avocados on the grocery list for the next trip, which is fantastic, reinforcing that purchase cycle. Other factors were gaining confidence about their purchase, recommending avocados to friends and family, and looking for new usage ideas. So once the avocados are purchased, shoppers are reporting high satisfaction. This highlights that the strongest opportunity we have to grow sales really lies in shaping the pre-store and the in-store experience. So, what did we learn? We learned about evolving our promotional strategies to take advantage of the rise of planned usage and routine purchases as shoppers today are adding avocados to the grocery list. We learned about a growing preference for bagged avocados and the in-store experience for shoppers looking to purchase them. Specifically, a need for greater visibility, convenient and consistent placement of bagged avocados in store. And we learned about the growing importance of the avocado display itself. Freshness, wide selection, clear signage that can help educate shoppers on topics like avocado ripeness levels can help them select the avocados at point of purchase that will meet their needs. So shoppers can take the avocados home, be satisfied, and restart that purchase cycle. Now, I want to thank you, and I highly encourage you to go to the HassAvocadoBoard.com website and download the full study. Signing up is completely free, and you will have access to all of this information and additional research and sales data that HAB makes available to the industry and that can help you grow your business. There is so much more in the full study that we didn't have time to cover here today, but it is all very valuable information. You can also sign up for the Hass Insights newsletter, which delivers the latest category data, research, and webinars just like this one directly to your inbox each month. Once again, thank you, and together let's leverage these trends to drive the development of the Hass avocado category.